Hello everyone, welcome back to Apollo Art Analysis. Today we're going to be looking at a piece that has a multitude of lessons. Mainly we're going to be talking about contrast, we're going to be talking about symbolism, we're going to be talking about the kind of divine natural world, and we're also going to be talking about instances of light and how those are important in the final visual experience which stands before us here. So in its initial introduction, we're met with this deer, this big deer. You see these kind of motifs and these swirls all around the body or the form of the deer there. Important to note that the deer stands in the center, so whenever a piece or an element of a piece of art stands in the center, emphasizes it. And we see that emphasis, of course, in placement in the center, but we also see that emphasis through a light on dark contrast. So it really emphasizes itself just by the nature of its placement, but also by nature of its glow. So you see all the surrounding areas here, kind of just this aura radiating off of the deer, as if something is being casted or emitting from the deer itself. So this we see the deer within a large forest. See, of course, the main greens, but we also see some dark purples, some maroons, some blues, and that provides a mostly so with the green and blue, those are definitely the foundations of the piece here. Of course, you can see that green up at the top there, but overall it's mostly the same. The purple provides a bit of accents on the bottom there, so that also provides the eyes a bit of rest, but the artist wants our on the center subject, as the deer is right here. Notices the deer is looking directly at us. So there's this kind of almost a confrontation or a sense of intimacy there. And that's really important because it draws you in. It almost forces you to look away. The glow pulls you in, the atmosphere pulls you in, but all eyes pull you in because it's staring directly at you, and that's impossible to ignore. So see, the forest, it's hard to know exactly where this is, but if we were to contemplate on kind of the fantasy and the origins of myth and of the story, we might conclude that these might be in the Black Forest of Germany. That's just an idea. It's definitely not set in stone, but that could be an idea that you run with. So, for example, like Hansel and Gretel, Red Riding Hood, we know that those were set kind of in this mythical land of the Black Forest, which is in southwestern Germany. So that's important to note. We don't necessarily know that is the case, but also it's important to note the significance of some of those quote unquote ancient forests, and that's really important, such as the Black Forest in Germany. So we see these kind of what would you call sprites or flares, or kind of little like magical pieces of dust, flying around, and those glow, those catch our attentions even more, and it also adds to this feeling of magic, this feeling of divinity, or something of higher order than what we're traditionally used to. The original artist is Jocelin Carmes, or Carmes, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but it's quite clear that artist is trying to emphasize that, but also is trying to convey this sense of magic, this sense of a higher order, or a higher sense of spirituality as well. So that's also important to note. We see that the deer's antlers are massive. Those are not quite sure if this is entirely accurate, or if a deer could actually have horns this big, but it's absolutely incredible. It pulls you in, and it also is. Let's see. We go like. See, I'm curious how tall they are in relation to the form. So if we have like that, about that, a little bit taller. So it's almost the antlers alone are almost as tall as the entire form of the subject. So that's really important to know. That gives it this grand sense of scale, or this grand sense of importance through that hierarchical scaling there. So we see a set of implied lines by the curve here. So if we're to follow it, we got there, and of course it starts to curve, and the fact that it stops right there means that it sets some implied lines for us, and those implied lines create the iconic shape of a heart. And that's not the best, you know what I mean? There are some implied lines that due to that slight curve there. See, if it were to just stop here, or if it were to just, I just want to mark that for you guys. Imagine if you just cut them off there. We would almost have kind of just like a U shape there instead of having the full curve or the beginnings of those implied lines to imply. That's really important. It's hard to tell if the artist was deliberate in doing that, but the final visual experience is definitely what we notice. So the symbolism of the deer, it can be seen a few different things. You can see it as mindfulness. You could see it as unconditional love, and so those are really important. So if we were to connect the heart and run with that, there, we could say that the symbolism of the deer here connects directly with unconditional love because of the heart and also the glow. So there's this grand sense of divinity in the piece before us. And the deer is also a iconic symbol of nature. So to be surrounded by nature as well is also a really important thing to remember as well. So Jocelin has been showcased, I believe, 2 times so far in the Apollo Art Archive. The full piece will have all the information, but I believe it's 2. It may have been 3 showcases total. Really talented artist. She works with a lot of digital illustrations, and I just absolutely love seeing what comes next from that artist. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned a bit. I hope you guys are able to look into this piece a bit further and check out some more of Jocelin's pieces. And I hope you guys enjoyed today. And my name is Apollo. This is Apollo Art Analysis. See you on the next episode. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to support our work directly, please check out our Apollo community tokens. Apollo Art Exchange is an ecosystem of art appreciation which elevates artists each and every day. Thanks for listening.